Okay, cool.
Whenever you're ready.
All right, so we'll do it where on Would You Rather. Kendra, do you want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
You going to do our intro?
I'll do it in a minute, maybe, if I want to.
Well, it's on you.
Oh, thank you for tuning in to The Real Tea with T3. My name is TJ Harris, and I'm here with Texas Trio Team today, and we're just going to really spill the tea about how we feel and who we are, so let's go.
All right, so I'm Kendra Genches.
I'm Michelle Duty.
Hey, KG, I think your audio's... What? I think your audio is kind of wonky.
Is that better?
Do I have an echo, or is it maybe just... It's fine.
Is that better?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
We
All
go.
right.
I didn't sound echoey.
No,
You sound great.
Okay. Sorry.
All right. So we're going to do something a little different today. So we're going to be playing Would You Rather. All right. So my question to both of you, would you rather have a face that looks like you are permanently angry or permanently terrified?
Well, okay, wait. Are we answering... So the normal game is you're answering on behalf of Kendra, like what she would do. Is that what we're doing, or what would we rather? We should define the rules.
Let's
Agreed.
define the rules. What are the rules, MD?
Well, the game is called Would You Rather. So,
If she's asking would you rather?
right.
Okay, I like it. Are you good with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay.
So my answer is terrified.
Would I rather look permanently angry or terrified? Angry.
Let's see your angry face.
She's got a good one.
I don't even know how to look terrified.
You said terrified?
I say terrified.
Let's see your terrified face.
So what
That was
about
not
you?
part of the game. But I say terrified because I would want... If you're looking terrified, then people are not going to be afraid of you. But if you're always angry, then you're never going to get anybody to talk to you.
But then would you be like a victim if you were always terrified?
Well, I could then tell them, it's just my face.
It's just my face.
I don't know.
All right.
So what about you? Which one would you do?
Probably terrified.
And what's your reason?
Like you said, I don't think anybody would come up to me if they said, God, what's wrong with her?
So that's why people don't come up to me.
Probably.
Not that you have an RBF.
No, none of us on this team do. We don't wear our emotions on our face at all.
Nope.
All right, MD, what's your
okay.
question?
Okay. Would you rather never use cutlery again or never use napkins again?
Okay.
You go first.
I'd rather not have napkins again.
Really?
Well, I'm not a Viking that's just gonna... I need a fork.
I low-key would never want to use napkins again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, no. No.
How are you gonna eat?
Nah, I'd probably never use cutlery again.
Really?
Yeah, I think I could do it. Well, you've seen like...
No paper towels, no baby wipes.
You can use your shirt.
Your arm.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'd use cutlery. I don't know if you guys watch TikTok or Instagram Reels, but I don't know the... what's the word I'm looking for? The culture, but have you seen those videos where like he dumps the pot where it looks like mashed potatoes?
It's fufu.
Is that it?
Uh-huh.
Where they grab it and eat it? I just think that's so neat.
I went to
It's
eat
just different.
in Katy at it's gosh, I can't remember the country it's from, but I went to eat it. It tastes like potato.
Yeah.
It's good.
Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any idea what we're talking about, Tisha? Why are you laughing?
Fufu.
You foo-foo eaters.
But they make it look really good on TikTok.
So which one would you be without?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely napkins. Most of the time I forget to grab a napkin anyways, Kevin always gets my napkin for me. He always gets two when he goes through or whatever, you know, if we're somewhere. And same at home, actually. He brings me my napkin with dinner.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it.
I never remember him.
I don't think that. So is the only place to eat fufu or anything like that, like in the Houston area?
Definitely not in Brenham. Yep.
You want to come to our office and have fufu?
No. Yeah, it's interesting. It's the I can't remember what it's called. The you know, the stew.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even want to try to pronounce it, but it has a little bit of a fishy taste, which I don't like. So I more preferred the fufu than the stew. But they didn't have. There's one called butter chicken stew that I really want to try that one with the fufu. Mm-hmm.
What's this place called that you went to?
Can't tell you. I'd have to look it up. But I will.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was like, I can't tell you.
Not telling
No,
you.
I would have to look it up. I don't even remember.
Since you guys are talking about like TikTok and like things that you see that are like influential or whatever, I was scrolling the other day and I saw a video, and that's this guy, and he like has ADHD, and so he like, you know, makes reels and stories about like his journey of life and everything. And he had one, and it was like he has ADHD and vocal stemming. Have you ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
So it's apparently, if you have like, it's a neurodiversity. No, not neurodiversity. Neurodivergent. Have you ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so I went down a rabbit hole. I saw this guy. He influenced me because I think that we were like, you know, along the path together. He has, typically if you have a neurodivergent, you have ADHD, OCD, sometimes Tourette's. And then vocal stemming is whenever you do different accents, you sing random lyrics, or you'll like whistle, and I was like, and Audrey or my kids were just like, "That's you." And I was like, "I'm a neurodivergent."
So is it almost like a tick?
I guess so. It's basically like your brain is running so rapid that you're trying to fill the space or remove uncomfortability. So I was like, now I'm trying to catch myself with like the British accent. I really am trying to like, you're neurodivergent. You don't need to do that.
So speaking of that, there's a new show on right now called Balin Out Loud. Have you seen that?
No.
Have you heard of it?
I watch her on TikTok.
So
Love her.
That's how I
Wind it up.
I can't say what I was about to say.
It's a busy.
Little baby.
Little baby.
Can't say the rest.
Yes.
But have you watched her show?
Yeah. No, I haven't. It's on. No, I don't have that channel.
Oh, it's really good, but it's also interesting to just learn about. Like, she has ADHD, Tourette's, OCD, and you know, all of these other things, and it's just amazing to see her really step out of her comfort zone and just bring awareness to those types of things that, you know, like I had no idea that things like that can just be grouped together, and that's very normal.
Yeah, I remember there was like a phase a couple years ago, maybe it still is, it's like as far as having Tourette's, and that like people were making like stories of like they were cooking or doing something like that with it. What's wrong?
I don't know.
I just sound really echoey.
You sound like at a distance.
Right. I don't know. Is that any better?
That's way better.
Okay.
Do y'all think it's very loud?
Turn down her headphones. That's better.
Is that better
That
for
is
everybody?
much better.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, good. We're back.
Yeah. People with Tourette's, making their or their mental conditions. Is that the right thing to say? Mental conditions? That's not right.
Say like mental disability?
Disabilities.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing what social media can do. Like people stepping onto these platforms and just bringing awareness to things that, you know, the average everyday person walking just wouldn't know.
They don't feel alone.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And it helps us who aren't familiar with those sort of things to respond in a more loving and
Exactly.
natural way.
And I think that's like one of the things that like I was just like trying to like correct myself. I don't want to be like, I think that canceling somebody is something that really happens, and whether that be like on a high affluence level, but I think you can be canceled, and so that's why I always try to like catch myself. I'm like, did I say something offensive? Because I never mean it that way, you know. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm like, what's the correct way of saying that without being rude?
Right. Yeah.
So who didn't do their would you rather?
Oh, me.
You didn't.
Would you rather never have to do laundry or never have to do dishes?
Dishes, easily.
100%.
Yeah. Easy.
Why?
I hate dishes.
I hate dishes.
Yep.
I love to cook. I hate to wash the dishes.
Do you have a dishwasher?
I do. And Kevin's job is to empty the dishwasher, and I load it. Because if I have to pick one of those, unloading, I was like, I just can't unload the dishwasher one more day for the rest of my life. Can you please take that over? When we became empty nesters, and you have jobs when you have kids at home that each of you do, and then when the kids leave, your jobs kind of shift. You
got to figure it all back out.
Exactly. And so, yeah, it was one of those things he had to take on.
Do you enjoy cooking more now, because you're not having to take care of the kids and what appease their senses? Like, are you enjoying it more now?
100%. Yeah. My kids growing up, every kid has the things that they like to eat, and not to put onions or not to put tomatoes or whatever the things are. And yeah, so now it's funny though, because them coming back home, they're enjoying eating the things that I'm making now. Their palates have grown, so that's cool. It's enjoyable for Kevin and I at home, and when they come home, they enjoy it too.
You cannot stand the stigma of you're when you become a mom that you have to cook dinner every day. Like, you have to. Like, there's a judgment if you do not.
I just used to make crock pot meals, large meals, so that we could eat the same thing for a few days, and then if they chose to, do something different on the interim, that was on them.
Yeah.
You can go to McDonald's or Popeyes or wherever it is you want to do, and we still have this to eat at home.
Yeah, I like that. So you for sure not dishes?
Definitely not.
I'm laundry. Like, I could go, I don't mind washing laundry. Whoa, I'm gone.
I hear you very well.
Do you hear me well? It went away for a second. Anyway, I like washing laundry because you just throw it in, and I don't mind putting it in the dryer. But as far as organizing and laying it all out of where it goes, it's exhausting.
My daughter would say the same. I think laundry would be her answer, but it's not me. I like to
I think we're way down.
Fold laundry.
Okay. All right. So then we're gonna throw in something a little different, rather than just random questions and things like that. We've got this little magical crystal plate here with random topics that we'll draw from. I did the last one.
You did?
Well, I mean, I just did mine.
All right. MD?
Okay.
I'm so excited. You guys have no idea what that. Did you read them earlier?
I read a couple. Okay. I cannot tell a lie. Okay, the mom friend drama. Are you the cool mom group or the outcast? Ooh. Spill the tea on the drama that happens between moms at school, sports, or PTA. Ooh. How do cliques form as adults?
I'm going to pop that camera right over to you first.
She's a cool mom.
I don't think so. I have to really observe people for a while. I think when I was younger anyways, I would want to be in the group, but now it's just I know how things can come out so quickly, so I need to observe who my people are, of who am I going to vibe with best and not have any drama.
Sounds like
so then I kind of I feel like I come off as introverted because of that, but not really.
Not a bit.
You an introvert?
Right.
No, I'm just saying because I take a minute to assess.
Yeah.
I feel like I might come off that way.
I got you. Yeah. I desire to be a cool mom. My kids are in daycare, so I don't really hang out with moms yet. We're not there.
Just wait for it.
I'm ready.
It's fun. I think we talked on a different podcast about how, you'll meet most of your friends volunteering at organizations. So this specifically talks about school sports or PTA. But there will be drama, but it's, you end up making friendships that will last a long time.
Yeah, and I'm with her that, like, even though it takes me a minute to find the people, once I find the people, like, they're my people.
Yeah. I could tell that at your cheer group.
Those are my peeps. I mean, it's who you spend the most time with, like, and you're more involved in, like, what your kids are, where your kids are and what they're doing, so they're like-minded, so you are going to find the people that you want to interact with. But I don't do PTA. I am not that mom. I'm the one that will bring cookies from HEB, not bake them.
We love you also.
You just want me to do the fundraiser.
I mean, I have to say, I was often in charge of, gathering volunteers. So moms would run from me.
Okay.
Michelle's coming, run. So anyways, yeah.
Do you miss those days?
I do. I miss the interaction and the camaraderie and, watching the kids excel in whatever we were there to support them in. But all those same kids, don't make me cry. All those same kids are now adulting and, gosh, it's a couple of those kids are married and it's kind of crazy, but
You saw it full circle.
yeah, exactly. From elementary school all the way up and now adulting, and it's really neat to watch them go into their next phase of life. And be able to say you watched them from the time they were in kindergarten or third grade, whatever it was. So,
I had a friend that we were in, I don't remember, we were older, I don't remember exactly how old, but anyways, then her parents had a whoopsie, and so now she just had her first baby, and it's like, I feel old, like seeing those things happen, like it's part of life, but it's just like there's so much change and everybody's like growing their own families and doing all that. It's fun.
Yep. It does age you.
This just made me think of this. I always remember my parents saying, well, I remember back in my days, we'd, but think, gosh, you're so old. But then I catch, my husband and I going, well, I remember, back in our day. And I'm like, I know. No. Slow it down. Good times.
Yeah. And it's just like technology and things like that are going so much faster now, like, and it's just like, it's hard for me to keep up, I mean, I enjoy it a lot. I think if you don't enjoy it, you're just doing something completely different and then, living in like your normal life. But if you're trying to keep up with like technology and innovation, like it's so much, like you show me stuff all the time that I was just like, I had no idea you could hack into my phone and look at what my phone was doing. That's so cool.
Kind of.
No. Close the book.
All right. We want to go to the next question? Okay. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Raising teens. Oh. Did we just do that one?
No, the one we chose.
Okay. Raising teens. Are we the cool moms or the cringe moms? Discuss navigating teenage drama, social media, dating, and trying to keep up with what's cool.
How did you do it?
By the skin of my chin. I had really good kids, is the truth. When I hear moms be concerned about something that their children are going through, kind of one of the first questions is, are they strung out on drugs? If the answer is no, we can make it like, let's keep going. And if that's not the case and they're not, getting arrested, then pretty much everything else is kind of just something you deal with as it comes. You know, you just take it incident by incident and get through it.
Do you think it's harder to raise little ones, like where Kendra's at right now, or teenagers?
Well, I had twins.
Give me some hope. Give me some hope.
I think Kendra has it harder. Twins was easier because they're both at the same stage.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you've got a little one and then how old are yours?
3.5 and 1.5.
Yes, and so they're two separate stages, and to me that's just a lot more difficult than having two that are the same age. Teenagers was definitely my harder time, but I was also doing a lot. I was, you know, working part-time and doing all the things at the school, and then they were extremely involved in a ton of things. So, you know, it's the taxi drive era of life, and but it was emotionally harder. So I would say emotionally, teenagers harder. Physically, God gives you some amazing strength when you have little ones like that goes away, and you don't get it back.
Yeah, absolutely. My kids are about the same age gap as Kendra's are, but now they're teenagers, and so I would definitely say the teenager is way harder. But in alignment with what you're saying, I think that when they were little, it was hard because it was like, "What's wrong with you?" or like, you're always trying to fix it in a different kind of way if something's wrong, but you're not dealing with like the mental stresses and emotions like when they're teenagers. Like, so I'm just now jumping on that horse, and I want to get off the horse, but I also don't want them to ever move away or anything like that. But that's the next chapter, you know?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Mm-hmm. So what about you? Are you going to be the cool mom, or are you going to be the cringe mom?
Honestly, I'm probably going to be the cringe mom. Really. I want to be cool, but I feel like I'm one of those helicopter moms.
I was called the same, but you just have to give them a safe place to land when they get home.
Yeah.
You just need to be a helicopter pad, you know?
Yeah.
Just to like.
That's a good expression. I love that.
We'll get there. So Kendall came home from school, I think it was a couple weeks ago, and I always ask her, you know, when she gets in the car, how was your day? What did you do? Who did you play with? And she's got her little best friend, but then she also mentioned that she has a boy. And I'm like, well, what do you mean a boy? She said, I have a boyfriend. I'm like, do you now at 3.5? So it's kind of a running joke with her and her dad now that when he asks her how school was, she makes sure to mention the boyfriend first. I'm like, we're so screwed. It's going to be great.
Well, enjoy that, you know, while they're still like talking to you. I used to always ask, or I still do ask them, like, what was your favorite part of the day? Mm-hmm. But all I get was, it was fine. It's fine. It's good.
My question was best thing, worst thing. What's the best thing that happened to you today, and what's the worst thing that happened to you today? And typically I would get an answer. Best thing was always whatever lunch was, or, you know, recess. There you go.
Yeah. PE.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
I have so much to look forward to. It's going to be great.
It is. It is.
Great. It's going to be great.
I'm just over here on a bobber, you know. Okay. Plastic surgery and filters. Are we losing touch with reality? Chat about beauty trends, how social media is changing our perception of beauty.
I am all for the plastic surgery. If I had millions, I would not look like this.
Are you serious?
I swear.
You're
And
beautiful.
I think whenever we talked with Jay, I was like internally talking to myself. I'm like, dang, dude, like
I'm a potato.
I am a potato. But I'm like, I really am. I think all of us women are so hard on ourselves, and if we had the I can't speak for everybody, but a lot of women, I feel like if we had the opportunity to change any single thing about ourselves we didn't like, we would jump on it without a hitch. That's kind of sad to say that that's how I feel, but what about you?
I've had surgery. I've had plastic surgery. I had a mommy makeover.
Really? How do you
Jelly.
feel about, was it a good decision, or do you wish you'd have done things differently?
If I could go back, I wouldn't have done it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's just a lot of medical things that happen. It's
Like caused from your surgery?
yeah. I mean,
Oh.
you're cutting through your skin and taking pieces out, and there's just so many layers of things that get cut in there. So scarred tissue is, I would say the biggest reason I would not. I would go back.
Okay. I feel like, we're kind of in a profession that you have to like look like you are online. It's hilarious to me that I'll see people that have been in the industry for so long and they'll have the same headshot as they had 12 years ago. And it's just like, what do people say when they see you, So we do have that kind of, I think a lot of women in business, like you have to have like yourself on a website with a headshot or, in pictures and things like that. So you're trying to keep up with, trends and social, like not just social media, but with like social expectations. And so I do feel like I see a lot of people that like their photos online, they're beautiful. And don't get me wrong, I'm like one of those people. I use filters. Like my husband teases me all the time. But when you get into reality with a client or with someone new, like you are not that person that was online. So it's kind of like a house. Like the house is beautiful online, but really it doesn't look anything like that.
Yes, very true. Pictures can be deceiving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't use filters when I take photographs. I will sometimes, modify the photo,
colors,
take
yeah.
out some shadow or whatever. But typically I don't use filters. I used to wear colored contacts, and I think I've told you this story before. I quit wearing colored contacts the day that my daughter said she wanted my eyes to be, or she wanted her eyes to be like mine. So I was like, okay. I took out the green contacts, blue contacts, whatever I was wearing at the time. I was like, never wear them again. They're now we're the same. So I felt like me changing my eye color was making her feel less than, because I wasn't happy with my brown eyes,
If you don't mind me asking, when you had like your mommy makeover, was that like post having twins, or was it like later when they were older?
It was post having twins.
Okay.
Yeah, it was post having twins. It was probably, they were 3 years old.
So it wasn't like they grew up with you and like, had a physicality look of what you were, and then you were like, I am not happy with me internally, or like, am I emotionally not okay? So then you went and changed that whenever like your daughter would be at a vulnerable position in life. And that's good. Yeah.
They never knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never knew. If they, they know now, but at the time they did not know.
I got you.
How did you do that? Like recovery time with 2 littles?
I had a helper come and
good.
stay with me for a couple of weeks and took care of the kids and cooked and cleaned and
Good.
yep.
So do you think a lot of, if you don't want to talk about it, that's fine, but do you think a lot of it, like, even like what you were saying, breaks my heart that women feel that way. But, after we talked with Jay, I was kind of the same way, but then I was like, I have to do something about it. Like, I have to like start working out. I have to make the changes. After the holidays and everything, it just made a traveling, eating out all the time. Like, it just, I feel bloated. I feel the stuff just like most women or other women do. And so it's just like, but I have to dedicate that time, and I have to do something about it.
For you.
Correct.
Not for,
It's not
the way you
for,
look,
yeah.
right? I don't know. For me, it's about the feel. How do you feel when you, and it just makes you feel better. But yeah, you get some results on the outside, but that's just a bonus.
It's not emotionally fulfilling.
Right.
Yeah, I guess.
No, that makes sense.
Okay. Well, we have a lot of work to do, girls. No filter on that. All right, your turn again.
Friendship breakups in your 30s and 40s. When is it time to let go? Talk about the heartbreak of adult friendship fallouts and how to handle toxic relationships as a grown woman. My goodness, that one's deep.
That is very deep.
I have to just ask a question. Have you had friends since like childhood?
Yes.
Like you talk on a regular basis, or it's just like if you don't talk to them for 10 years, like you're back to where you were 10 years ago?
Yes.
All of it.
I have a friend, Deanna, who y'all met, and we went to junior high together. And
Okay.
so we still talk on a weekly basis. I also have a friend, her name is Danita, and lives in Ohio, and we've been friends since we were one, live next door to each other. And we ran barefoot in the streets playing hide and go seek and, all the things. But she is somebody who I won't talk to for years and then, can pick right up, kind of catch up.
It's like you guys never skipped a beat.
Exactly.
Yeah. Those are such rare friendships. I love that. I have a childhood friend, Bree, that we've known each other since, we were in 5th grade. And it's like the same thing. We could not talk for months and then pick up the phone, and it's like, we talked yesterday all day. I love those friendships.
Yeah.
They're good. Very special.
Yeah, I think my thing is like there's so much change in life, and like I'm not the same person I was when I was a teenager, and so what that person is doing now is probably not the same thing that I'm doing. And that's where I'm at with my kids, is I'm trying to tell them, like, you don't have to be socially doing what your peers are doing to be to be friends, and because that may not last forever. Like you said, it's rare. But as far as breakups, I have no qualms about doing that. If there's something unhealthy or whatever, like it's best for the both of us to just peacefully
Part ways.
I don't have time for drama anymore at all.
No.
Yeah, boundaries are a good thing. Healthy boundaries.
Healthy boundaries.
It doesn't mean you hate the person or wish them, harm. We're not good for each other, and here's a boundary.
Yep.
And we need to.
And I used to feel really guilty about setting those boundaries and cutting it off, but the older that I've got, and I'm like, if you're not benefiting me and my mental health, like you said, we'll just peacefully part ways, good riddance, bye.
Yep. And sometimes it's not just friends. Sometimes it's family.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
Your turn.
Next. Okay. Crazy stories from the real estate trenches. Spill the tea on wild, funny, or jaw-dropping situations you faced as realtors. Relatable and entertaining. Oh, I got a good one.
Good.
Who wants to go first?
You started off.
Oh, snap. Okay. So I was out on a showing doing a virtual tour for a client. And
I totally forgot.
where I'm going.
Yeah.
And I had my daughter with me. It was just her and I. My husband was out over the road, so she went on a lot of showings with me. So, and she was,
Gosh, she was little, like maybe a year old.
1.5, maybe. So I'm like, all right, yeah, no problem. Virtual tour, put her on my hip. I'm taking a video, doing my walkthrough. House is gorgeous. So we get done with the first house, and in the backyard, there's a little guest home. So me and my daughter are just trucking along out there. I go toward the second house, and I put my phone up. I'm like, all right, I'm done. I start walking outside, and I hear like whistling. I'm like, we're like kind of out in the country a little bit. So I'm looking around, and I see a police officer standing there, and he's like, get back. I'm like, what is happening? So me and Kendall like back ourselves up against this house. And then we sat there for probably 2 or 3 minutes. Like my heart's pounding because I don't know what's going on. And then I start hearing yelling, and I don't remember what exactly they said, but I just put my daughter on my hip and I bolted towards the main house. I got inside. There's a whole SWAT team.
Oh my gosh.
Out in front of the neighbor's house. Like, what? And they had 2 guys pulled out in handcuffs. Like, pulled up in this person's driveway. Again, just SWAT team. I'm like, this house is great. You're going to love it.
Wow.
And got back in the car and we left, and it was a chase of like a drug bust of some sort. Yeah.
Affiliated with that house or not?
No, not at all.
It just happened to be there.
It just happened
at the same time as you and
just
your clients.
driving and
And
ended
your daughter.
up.
She was on a video tour, so she wasn't on the
Oh,
the client
they weren't
didn't
there.
see it.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. I'm sorry, I missed that part.
It was insane. I've never seen anything like that in my life. That would probably be my craziest story.
That tops anything I would have had for sure.
I saw it go down.
I can't. Gosh, there's a lot of things I can think of, like circumstances, not like various like smaller things. I remember when I first got into real estate, I was brand new to Texas, like this area of Texas, and so this lady in the small town of like when I lived in Waller. I don't even remember how she like got a hold of me, honestly. Like maybe called the office or something, and she wanted to buy a house. She wanted to sell her house in Waller and buy another house. So I went over to her house. She was elderly. Like she was probably like in her late 70s, early 80s, and she was an Italian lady, and she was like, I want to buy a house, and I want to buy it like in the Galleria. Well, I didn't even know where that was at the time, so it was a very poor decision of me to say, yes, let me go do that for you. So I started looking up houses, and so we went. I had a single cab pickup truck at the time, and I picked her up one day, and so she got in the car, and so we drove all the way into, she told me like the Galleria, but her budget did not fit that at all. So we were in like the not good areas of town that we had no business like being there. And I just remember her hitting me. So this old woman, like I'm driving in like crazy traffic, and she's just like hitting me from the passenger, like telling me stories because she's Italian, and she's very like boisterous and like all that, and she's hitting me, and I'm just like internally having like a panic episode. Like I'm just like, you shouldn't live here, like we don't belong here, we should turn around. I never worked with her buying a house after that. Like I was just like, yeah, I'm sorry, we're gonna have to find you something different.
So she did not find a house.
She did not. We went and looked. I mean, these houses, like they were just in the part of town that every single house had a security gate on. Like you had to get extra keys to get through it, to go through. And just I wasn't like steering her, but I was like, I really don't think that you should live here. Like,
Well, if she was hitting you, she was clearly scared too.
no, she was hitting me, like telling me stories about her life. Like she was just like excited about being out, going on, like being in Houston and like getting out of Waller. I think she was somebody that was at home watching TV all day long, and it was more of an entertainment for her. And she just brought out the full Italian and was like, hey, and like it kept hitting me. It was crazy.
That's funny.
All right, MD, what you got?
What crazy real estate stories do you have?
I'm
None?
at a loss for that one. No, I mean I've had some
Cringe stories.
transactions where it took a little more work than I was anticipating in the beginning. Listings that needed some love, but no, I don't really. I haven't. Well, I mean, I've walked into a house that wasn't locked. The back door was wide open. Probably not one of my smarter days, but I, walked in with my phone and pretended I had a gun. and yelled out, "I've got a gun. If you're in here, run." And then, I was like, "I'm videoing your face. I'm on live. Your face is on camera if you come," So anyways, totally a lie. But
Was there anybody in there?
No, there was nobody in there.
Can you imagine if there was like an animal or something in there? Like I could just see you pew pew.
Oh, it
pew.
totally would have gotten pew-pewed with my finger. Yep. So.
I'm trying to think. I know there was one time that made me feel like 2 times specifically that I'm thinking of. One time it was a house in Hockley, and it was a rental house. And we went in there, and every single wall had a different color of the rainbow. And there was posters of Bob Marley, and it smelled like straight up weed.
Smoke.
everywhere. And there was like paraphernalia, like laying underneath the couch, like all of that. And just to keep like a professional face of like, do you want it? Do you like it?
That's funny.
You want to go get some Cheetos?
Secondhand.
And then another time I'll never forget was I did an open house, and the seller had sexual like pleasure stuff in their room, just like laying on the beds and stuff like that. And
no.
Like toys?
Yes.
No.
Yes. And so like I don't want to touch it. Like, so you got to go get like brooms and like move it and like hide it in a spot where other people aren't going to see it when they go to the open house. So that was weird.
Oh,
That's cool.
I think that one beats Kendra's actually. Oh no.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's been like circumstances of like weird, like off the wall stuff, but never had a SWAT team like with my kid. Yeah. So, or a fake gun.
Hey, I'm in business. They were scared if they would have been there.
They ran away. That's what happened. It worked.
Okay,
That's so
next. Let's see. When did we become our moms? Reflect on moments when you realized you're turning into your mom and whether that's a good or bad thing.
I did it yesterday.
What'd you do?
Well, my son was getting out of the car, and he's in that weird stage of like, I know he's like probably throwing cuss words with his friends. I'm not stupid, but he know that's very disrespectful to do it in front of me. And he got out of the car and he dropped something, and he threw out some words, and I like he didn't say it all the way, but it was like I knew what he said, and I gave him my mother's face, like I could feel it come over, and I was like, he was like, I didn't say it, and I'm like, yes, you did, and I was like, oh.
You said it in your heart. That's funny.
Have you had any moments whenever you think that you're turning into your mother?
I love this. So, kid will say, Mommy, I really want a snack right before bed. And I'm like, no, you don't need one. She said, why? And I'm like, because I said so.
You even look like her when you just did that just now.
Don't say that. Why? Because I said so. I'm like, yeah, I am my mother. It's fine. What about you?
Oh, I'm definitely. Things I say, things I do, everything I watch.
Isn't it funny though? Like whenever you're growing up, you're like, I'm never going to do that. I'm not going to do my kids that way. And then like you do it and you're like, oh, I have to course correct. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually have Ashlyn now calling me, the one girl, and she calls me and she's like, I said exactly what you would say today to my roommates. She's kind of the mother of the house, if you will. And so, and there are male roommates as well, and they are not very tidy all the time. So she tends to sound like me in those moments when she's like, y'all need to clean up. Who used this bowl?
She's throwing it out into the yard.
This kitchen was clean when you walked in here. Yes. So.
It's fun though. It'll be interesting to see whenever like our kids have like the mannerisms like of us, are picking those up.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What do we got next? Dream homes versus real life. Why the perfect house doesn't exist. Discuss the realities of house hunting as a mom, from compromising on space to dealing with your kids' must-haves.
What are the must-haves for you?
I have to have a big backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Girls like to be outside. I have a dog that needs a fenced-in yard, so that would be a deal breaker if my next home didn't have a yard. Other than that, I think we're pretty easy. What about you?
Well, I don't have to think about the kids on a daily basis at home. So my space is, when we purchased our house, we purchased it as empty nesters.
Right.
Oh, you did?
With the intent, so we purchased the house 5 years before we moved into it to fix it up. But we knew when we moved there, we would be empty nesters.
Right. Okay. Got it.
Okay. That makes sense. So was there things from your house of raising kids to going into your empty nest house that were like, I don't need that anymore? Or it's like you compromised before?
Well, I wanted a place for them all. We have 5 total, right? And daughter-in-laws and grandbabies. So I wanted a place for all of them to be able to come home and be as long as they wanted to be, but not be in our main space, so that we could have, I mean, when you go visit family, our saying is you stink after 3 days, you know?
That's so true.
And
You need
so,
your own space.
Yes,
Yeah.
you just need your own space. If I want, if you just need a moment or want to go read a book, I wanted them to have a place where they could just go be by themselves. So that was extremely important to us.
That was your non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable was a guest house, yeah.
Yep. You know, what was the, do you have it anymore? What was the, title of it? Like,
Dream home versus real life. Why the perfect house doesn't exist.
ooh, okay, I have it.
Okay.
Thank you. I think as when I was younger that I wanted big house, like all the stuff. And I remember my mom even saying it. It was just like, I don't want that house to clean. And now that I have had that, and it is so much more to keep up with and maintain. And it's not just the one water heater, it's 2 water heaters. It's not 1 air conditioning unit, it's 3 air conditioning units. So it's just it's not all butterflies and rainbows. When you get the bigger, better house, and so it's a lot more work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do it. I really don't.
I don't either.
She's like, yeah, you're telling me.
So it's really
She has the superpowers still.
Yes.
well, no, I just put my kids to work. No, not really.
That's a superpower too.
No. It was really funny. I was digging through some old notebooks the other day. I think I told you. And I came across a bucket list that I did in 2018 of 100 things that I wanted to do. And so I always when I do, it's I find it and I'll mark stuff off and then I'll put it away and lose it until I'm meant to find it again. And one of the things was on there was to have a really large house on 20 or more acres. And I was like, have a lake house, change it to little lake house with a no lot, So I love finding those things and doing visions and projecting, manifesting and things like that.
Speaking of our vision board party,
I know.
excited for that.
I am really excited about that.
Yeah.
I think it's important to connect with other women, kind of like what we were talking about earlier. You never know what someone's going through and their struggles and how they're feeling about themselves, their business. And Michelle and I were talking yesterday, and it was just it's the end of January, but it feels like we're just now stepping into 2025. We've been working and doing all the stuff and
Right.
taking care of what we need to, but it hasn't felt like the year has really kicked off yet. So I think it'll be good to do manifestations and imaginative boards and envisioning what we can do for our business.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, inspiration board is something I've never done.
Me either.
Yeah, and so it'll be. I already have a few things in mind that I haven't even looked through the magazines, but that I would put on it. But it'll be interesting. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I've done vision boards in the past, and just my only tip for you guys would be like, I've done them with my friends, and it's just like the ambiance and just like being yourself. Like, that's one vibe. And I've done it before where it would seem like everybody was rushed and like just randomly doing stuff. So that wasn't the good vibe. So I hope we set a really good intention and vibe for tomorrow, like to bring in that space so you can be truly authentic with yourself and what you want for your future. But the one thing is, like, you don't necessarily have to find the exact picture of, like, so for example, like, I want to go to Disney. You don't have to find the picture of Disney, but maybe there's a color or a word that makes you resonate with that intention that you're wanting. So that would be my tip.
Okay.
Good tip. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, it'll be good.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll have lots of pictures and
Yeah.
fun stuff from tomorrow. A lot of planning and pop by stuff this year.
Y'all have done a great job at that.
Ooh, thank you.
I appreciate y'all for that.
Oh, is it my turn? Is it the last one? No?
Next to last.
Who is really running Hollywood? Talk about the biggest celebrity feuds and the power struggles right now. Are certain stars sabotaging others? Okay, do you have anything? Are you good? Okay.
No, go for it.
So I have to say it. Have you guys seen the video of Selena Gomez that went out yesterday on Instagram?
Is that the one in her power era?
I don't know. No?
Okay. Nope. Nope, I haven't seen it.
Okay. Then I'm gonna okay, so I'll tell you what the video was. I wish we had the capability to like pop it up and like show the viewers and stuff like that, and you guys could see it too. We'll work on that. So
Kendra.
we'll work on it. So she put up a video, and like the content of what it was about, I won't necessarily dive into unless you want me to. But she was profusely crying, like, not just like, oh, I'm so sad, like, OMG. Like, it wasn't like that. Like, she was ugly crying about this particular thing happening right now in the United States that she was just deeply troubled by. Like, and so it made me feel uncomfortable. Like, honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. I was watching it on a podcast. They were showing it, and it was Candace Owens, and she said, I'm not laughing, you're laughing. And I literally was laughing because I was like, it made me feel so uncomfortable by how upset she was.
Was it because of the presidential election?
No, well, yeah, kind of. It was about illegal immigration and how she couldn't do anything about what's going on at the border. That's what it was about. So I'm not talking about the topic that people...
You're just talking about what her reaction was.
How her reaction was and how absolutely ridiculous it was. Would you, whatever it was, whatever you're feeling... If you were in that state of being that emotional, would you go on social media and just ugly cry?
No.
I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit. No, personally, I would not. However, if I think of someone with that type of power hold over a lot of the community, maybe she's trying to use that as an advantage to, the power that she has over people. Not saying it's not cringe, because it is. But I'm sure she's just doing it for a reaction and followers out of her supporters.
Yeah.
I don't let people see me cry. So it's not my way. If I'm gonna take action in some way, crying on social media is not
the way to do it.
No.
I agree.
My angry face would come out, and there would
no, your scared face,
terrified face would come out.
No, that would have to go away. And the angry face would come out. But yeah, no, crying is not it.
I know we're totally different people, but I don't do well when people get like highly emotional, like. And I don't laugh at them. Don't get me wrong. Like, if I'm in person with you, I'm not going to laugh at you if you get emotional. That's not it. But it makes me feel very uncomfortable when someone wants to be that vulnerable with me if we're not in this situation, like, to be vulnerable with, you know? Mm-hmm. You know what am I saying it wrong?
No, you're not.
Okay.
You're not. I just know I've cried in front of you a lot. But I feel like it's different.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like if you're in a position where you're needing a friend to like have a shoulder, I'm cool with that. And like you're having that dialogue right there. But if you're just having an emotional outburst and I'm not in that with you, go to the bathroom and handle that.
You should be like, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, bye.
That's funny. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay, that was my one celebrity thing.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest. I don't keep up as much as I want to.
I was gonna
don't.
say that too. I really was gonna say that too. Like when it seems like the past, I don't know, 10 years, like I don't give a shit like about Hollywood or anything that's going on. But there are things that come up and I'm like, ooh, that's spicy. But I'm not like investing what I'm wearing or anything, like what clothing or makeup or hair or anything like that based on someone of
What's
status.
trending.
Yeah. I mean, there's things that come out and I'm like, oh, that's super cute. I want to try that. But it's not because
You're not seeking
Jennifer
it out.
Aniston is wearing it,
Right,
you know, like
right.
Jennifer Aniston hair. Remember that, like when it came out and everybody had Jennifer Aniston hair. You don't remember that? Yeah. There was another one.
Oh, like her hairstyle?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were talking about like hair extension. I was like, man,
That-
I've never
No.
seen Jennifer Aniston hair. Okay,
Something
I got
in
you.
Kate plus 8. What is that?
Oh, the back cut, like her haircut.
The Karen cut. I think they call it.
That's still in. Yeah, like the trends and the fads. Like it seems like it was a lot more like in the early 2000s than it is now. People are just like whatever, being themselves.
Agreed. I love that about this generation.
Me
honestly.
too. Yeah, same.
Yeah. Got one more, sister.
Oh, okay. All right. The pressure to have it all. Can we really be perfect wives, moms, and bosses? Share stories of juggling careers, family, and self-care while staying sane or not.
Or not.
Or not.
Keyword. No. I don't think we can be perfect moms, wives, business women. Doesn't mean we can't strive to be that way and do everything that we possibly can. But no, I think it's impossible to be the perfect in every category, and that's okay.
Agreed.
Whatever.
She lying.
No, I couldn't agree more. It's like, I think there's so much pressure to, yeah, I feel like it used to be keeping up with the Joneses, and now it's like, it's not really that. It's just keeping up. Like I went to like a big marketing thing not too long ago, and it's basically our brains are inundated with ads, sponsored stuff, what our friends are doing, what our business is doing, like, and it's just constant. Like you're just like drowning and trying to keep up with the algorithm of what is the, like in the moment. But like my thought is, it's really, really hard to get through the day to day, but then you look back a year later and it's like, wow, like we've come so far. Like I never would have imagined that we would have had an office in downtown Brenham. Like a year ago, I was thinking actually this morning on the way into work that I think it was like a year ago whenever we had that big event and I was a speaker, and then afterwards me and you, Kendra, were walking down and you were in your car and we were like, hey, we should ask Michelle to be on the team. Like that was about a year ago, and it's like at that time, like I never would have imagined where we are right now.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing growth and more to come.
Yeah. So yeah, I think keep imagining what you can do this year. Keep thinking that you can succeed in social pressure and mommyhood and owning a business and all of those things. Like it can be a lot, but don't beat yourself down. You are beautiful inside and out. And if you want to reach out to us, find us at texastrioteam.com and be sure to like and subscribe. Take care and keep living your best life.